Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Puma MB.04, which is LaMelo Ball's fourth signature shoe with Puma. Before we get started, if y'all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification so you never miss another video just like this one. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the MB.04 features like this multi-directional traction pattern, and up in the forefoot, you do actually have like an actual traction pattern. You have like not here, you also have like this UFO, and in the back half, it's pretty much just a solid piece of rubber, and the whole thing is like a flame, but on the actual flame, you do have like these little lines. So I guess you can say there are some like sort of tread like on the back half, but as far as traction goes, like I was actually pretty surprised. On clean courts, the traction is pretty damn good. Like you're gonna have very good bites. You're gonna have like no problem at all doing any lateral movements, cuts, whatever. If you're playing on your dustier courts, honestly, surprisingly, still pretty good. This thing does pick up a little bit of dust, so you will have to do the occasional wipe to make sure that the traction is nice and clean, just to make sure you are getting those, solid stops. But overall, compared to the previous MB models, like I think this is the best in terms of the traction, because most of the time traction always pretty like suffered heavily on dust, whereas this one not so much. So maybe it's because they're using Puma grip rubber. That's what they say. I'm not sure if that was used on any of the previous Melo models, but that's what they're using on here. And honestly, I didn't really have any issues with the traction on the shoe. So traction was pretty damn good. So moving on to the cushion. The Puma MB.04 features what I believe is a full-length nitro foam midsole. And this shoe is very, very comfortable. What you're gonna get is a lot of impact protection in the heel. There's a lot of compression. It just feels very, very comfortable. And then in the forefoot, it does thin out a little bit. It's also partially caged, but I will say you do get an adequate amount of impact protection in the forefoot as well. Not only that, but the step-in comfort is also very good. I'm pretty sure there is like an ortholite insole or something in here, and it just really enhances the comfort of the shoe. I would say because this is so catered to cushion, you're definitely losing out on the court feel and responsiveness. Like you definitely don't feel the quickest in the shoe, and you are high off the ground, so it's just not the type of cushion setup that I personally enjoy. But I will say overall, this is a comfortable shoe. So if comfort is, your number one goal, then I would say this cushion setup is going to be amazing for you. However, for me, I did wish, it was a little bit more responsive. So moving on to the materials, the MB.04 features a full textile upper, and on top of the textile, you just have like a bunch of fuse. The fuse is actually what gives this like this crazy design, which I personally don't really like at all, and I think it's pretty damn tacky. But I will say, besides the aesthetics, I will say it does add like some structure and durability, which is good, I guess. As you move towards the back, this textile material basically continues, and on the back you also have that textile material. As you move towards the tongue, you do have a mesh tongue. I would say it's decently padded as well, so if you do like to crank down your laces, you won't feel the laces digging into the top of your foot. Overall, the material usage on the shoe from a performance standpoint is good. Like it gets the job done very, very well. However, I am just not a big fan of having like this fuse just like all over the shoe, just to have like his graphics and like these logos and words and all that stuff. Like I'm just not a fan of how it looks. But strictly from a performance standpoint, it gets the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, I will say that the fit of the MB.04 is pretty much true to size. I'm a slightly wide footer and I went true to size, and I say it felt pretty good. I think honestly, if you are a narrow footer, you could probably go down a half size and be okay. But normal footers, slightly wide footers, and slightly wide footers, I think true to size is your best bet. If you have really wide feet, you might want to go up a half size, because you might have a little bit of pressure up in the forefoot area. As a slightly wide footer, it was pretty solid for me. So yeah. For me, the fit was good. I didn't have too much dead space up in the toe box area. This does feature a half booty upper to give you as close of a one-to-one fit as possible. And the fit in here is just very, very comfortable and snug. You really feel like the shoe is just like it's like a puffer coat almost, and the puffer coat is on your feet. So yeah, the fit of the shoe is good. Just make sure you watch out. If you are a wide footer, you might want to go up a half size. So moving on to the support, I really didn't have any issues with the support in the shoe. You do have an internal heel counter, and the heel does come up pretty high with nice sculpting. So you aren't really gonna have any heel slippage. Like, I didn't have any heel slippage in the shoe. As far as side-to-side movement goes on the footbed, I didn't have any issues there as well. I felt very planted. The materials do a great job, and the foam does wrap up onto the upper in like some of the areas to kind of act as like a cage or a container for your foot. And in terms of lateral stability, if you are wanting to do those hard lateral movements, you're gonna be covered there as well. I wouldn't say this is the widest base, but I would say it's wide enough where you aren't gonna be rolling over on those hard movements. And then in terms of the torsional rigidity and stability, I'm pretty sure there's a shank plate in here. This is very stiff and rigid. You know, the rubber actually kind of helps with that rigidity as well. So yeah, I mean, supporting the shoe, really had no issues. So yeah, the support in the MB.04 was good. So the MB.04 retails for $125, and for that price point, I would say this is still like a pretty solid shoe. This is just something that wouldn't be in my rotation personally, just because I don't like the way it looks, first of all. I think it's a little bit bottom heavy for me, and I don't really like shoes that feel that way. It's a little bit bulky feeling just because there's a lot of cushioning going on in the shoe. And obviously the cushion setup for me is just, it's a little bit too much. Like, I prefer something low to the ground and responsive feeling compared to something that has like more impact protection. So yeah. The MB.04 just wouldn't be in my rotation. However, if you are a LaMelo fan, or if any of the things that I mentioned about this shoe sound right up your alley, then go for it, because this is by no means like a bad performer. It's just not meant for me. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you all did want to pick up a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. I will say though that the MB.04 I think is probably his best shoe in like his Puma line so far. So if you all want to pick up a pair of these, go for it. I really don't think you'll be disappointed unless you know, like a very responsive cushion setup. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If y'all like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and please hit that thumbs up button for me and leave a comment, as it really does help me out. While you all are at it, check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.